even if we knew, let's say, with 99.999% certainty that Caucasians are smarter, more productive, able to, invent and create more ingenious things that benefit everybody, and other races were significantly lower, I still don't think that that's a justifiable basis, that efficiency basis, for making those kinds of decisions. Because, for one thing, there's always the possibility that somebody of some other ethnic background can have that sort of creative, inventive input.
Right.
Maybe not at the same rate, but what they may come up with may be better. But the other thing is that there's a fundamental bias in that they may not have had the same benefits. That just because you're looking at an ethnic group doesn't mean the results you're seeing are based on their ethnicity with regard to DNA and whatever. It may be societal impacts.
And I think that's the basis of a lot of the criticism.
But the fundamental thing is that we have this concept that everybody has basic human rights.
Yeah.
And that it is wrong to, discriminate on the basis of race or whatever. Even if we knew that, it's like we sometimes treat our pets better than we treat other people. Our pets aren't going to fucking invent anything. They're not going to start talking tomorrow. It's really a bad bet for us to be spending so much money to feed cats and buy cat litter and all this other stuff when that money could be put to better use for humans. So why is it that people seem to want to push these biased junk science ideas about other races and efficiency? It seems very hypocritical to me that some of those same people wouldn't think twice about buying dog food. Why not let the dog fend for itself? That's the epitome of efficiency. I think there's an underlying prejudice that is biasing the results in addition to the lack of understanding about the societal issues around them.
As the guy who recently took the data mining course, and this is my only claim to any kind of authority, but you always have to be really careful about assuming which way causation and correlation go. Because even if it's true that, in fact, black people scored lower on this test, that difference might basically disappear if you only consider a black person and a white person who are in the same economic stratum. Like, if you consider, like, there are a lot more poor black people, and then you take one rich black kid and one rich white kid, and they score the same, then that kind of indicates that it's their poverty in the first place.
None of us here, am I correct in concluding that none of us here have either read the bell curve or conducted a serious study of the criticisms against it?
Right.
Okay. Well, the best we can do is come up with a bunch of concerns about ways that we know studies like that can be inaccurate. And we can talk about ways that findings like that can be abused. So I think it's time to move on.
Well, and I think one point at the end is that even if there was no bias, even if there were no concerns, even if we had absolute certainty, just because you're basically looking at past performance to indicate what may happen in the future, and gambling on those results, all those results would tell us, even if they were completely accurate, is what has historically been the case, not what may be the case in the future, specifically if we make changes.
Right. And once you lock in some sort of spending strategy based on these existing groups, how much does that just reinforce the divisions between those groups?
Yep.
I like I prefer the strategy that was suggested in the movie Bulworth. Anybody seen this?
No.
Who's the guy that played Dick Tracy?
Warren Beatty.
Warren Beatty plays a washed-up, corrupt politician who can't stand it anymore, goes to kill himself, fails, but instead, winds up getting a black girlfriend and getting involved in rap culture and stuff and coming alive.
Yeah, and just not
by
caring,
becoming a normal person again, right? And then later he goes back to politics and he says the solution to racism is everybody should fuck everybody till we're all the same color. That, I think, is the solution.
And I'm feeling good.